We now return to Big and Small on Modern Marvels. A car says a lot about the person who drives it. So can its size. Small says efficient and environmentally friendly. And while cars like these are definitely small by today's standards, they are giants in the microcar kingdom. So how many microcars can one man own? How about 300? After making his money in bubblegum, Bruce Weiner put some of that cash toward creating the world's largest collection of the world's smallest cars. The Bruce Weiner Microcar Museum pays tribute to their nearly forgotten little world.
A microcar would be described as a car that's under 700cc engine displacement. It would be a three-wheel or four-wheel car. It would be born after World War II, and it can have a full top, a convertible top, or no top. And it can seat anywhere from 2 to 4 people. We also have some single-seaters, but generally speaking, they're two-seater cars.
At the center of this collection sits some of the smallest of the microcars, including the Peel P50, the smallest production car ever built.
It was built on the Isle of Man in the 50s. They only built about 15 of them. There's only 14 known to exist. I'm 6'1", and you can see where it comes up to my chest. So it's quite small. It has an engine size of about 50 cc's and horsepower of about 7 or 8 horsepower. It travels about 30 miles an hour, top speed. It's about 150, 200 pounds, very, very light. It does not have reverse. So when you park it, if you want to move it, you go to the back of it, and it has a handle on the back, and you pick it up with one arm, and you move it around to put it in a parking spot or take it out of a parking spot. It's actually quite comfortable, as small as it looks. You get in from the rear side first, put yourself inside.
It also easily fits in the back of a pickup truck. But those who prefer to bring a friend may enjoy the somewhat space-age looking Peel Trident. Or perhaps they'd like to open up the front of a car and just take a seat. Some microcars even fit a family. Microcars were especially appealing to European countries trying to recover from the war.
Back then, these were selling for $200 and $300, and in America, cars here were $1,500 to $2,000, up to $3,000. So they were relatively inexpensive. They were also inexpensive to operate.
Three-wheeled microcars came with an extra benefit.
Back then, they had a road tax on automobiles, and if it was a three-wheeler, it was considered a motorcycle, and there wasn't a road tax put on them. If they were 50 cc's or under, it didn't require a driver's license, and most people in Europe didn't have driver's license.
Many microcars benefited from their two-wheeled cousins in other ways as well.
When they started building them, a lot of common parts were from scooters. A lot of these take scooter tires. Most of them use scooter engines. The holy grail of microcars are Messerschmitts. The reason is because they were the best engineered.
The inventor of the Messerschmitt, Fend Flitzer, created his first automobile as a method of transportation for war amputees.
He built this for a person in a wheelchair that was basically didn't have his legs because there aren't any pedals in the car. This car has a handbrake and a clutch, and you would move this to change the gears. And from this, it evolved into the Messerschmitt, what we know today. They built around 9,000 cars over the period of the total production.
By the mid-1960s, the microcar era came to a close, due in part to consumer demands for greater creature comforts and increased safety standards. At 40 feet long, the H2 limo has enough room for 12 Peel P50 microcars to take a ride. That may seem impressive, but Exotic VIP likely has something else in mind for its big limo. Elvis Presley not only owned several enormous Cadillac Eldorados and limos, but also owned and drove a Messerschmitt microcar. Big and Small will return on Modern Marvels.